Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to edit PDFs on your computer, specifically sheet music PDFs. You may have seen my previous video where I demonstrated how to use Preview and Formulate Pro on a MacBook to edit PDFs. Unfortunately, I recently learned that with the newest update to the Mac operating system, Catalina, Formulate Pro will no longer work. So thankfully, I have very smart and diligent students. And my student Simone found an online program that allows you to do pretty much everything that you can do with Preview and Formulate Pro, all in one place, all online, so you don't need to download anything. And as an extra bonus, now this will work for both Mac users and PC users. So it's pretty straightforward. It's an easy program. So I'm just going to demonstrate for you how it works. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the website, which is called pdfescape.com, but I'm going to pretend that I don't know that, and I'm going to do a search for it because I've been using this new search engine, Ecosia, that plants trees. So just one more search adding to my collection. I think they said 45 trees, 45 searches is one tree, so I'm working on my fourth tree. All right, PDF Escape, here it is. So you can sign up and register and all that, but you don't need to. You can use this program for free, and somewhere on the website it says, this will always be free. That remains to be seen, but for now it is free. So I'm going to start. We're going to use, for our purposes today, this classic from Oklahoma, I Can't Say No. I'm just going to drag that file in here, and now it's loaded into the program. Now I will say there are a couple of pretty minor drawbacks to this program. One being the initial loading of the pages is a little slower than I'd like. That's a pretty minor problem. And even once it's loaded, sometimes it takes a second to load the page again when you scroll through the document. And the other thing that's tricky about this program is that there's not really a good, reliable undo. There is one feature that you can undo, and that's deleting pages. You can put pages back if you accidentally delete the wrong page. That's really helpful, but there's no kind of global undo button. If you're doing a complicated cut, you might want to save and download it partway through the process and just make sure that you have that set to go and then start the process again. Hopefully I won't need to do that with this demonstration. Okay, so the reason we're going to edit this PDF today is for page turns. I'm not going to actually make a cut in it. The way that this song is set up is you do the first two pages all the way to the fourth page. You jump from here to the trio section, and don't worry, I'm going to show you how to fix this crooked page later. And then once you get to the end, you repeat back to the second page. And anyone who's in my musicianship class knows that we always try to avoid having the accompanist turn backwards a page. You never make an accompanist turn back more than one page. But if you can avoid turning backwards at all, it's nice. So in order to allow the accompanist to just keep paging forward through this song, we're actually going to add this and everything else that gets repeated at the end of the sheet music. So I'm going to go to the end here. Why don't we take care of this crooked page while we're here? This is one of my favorite features and actually something that neither Preview nor Formulate Pro could do. So here we get a little upgrade here. So I'm just going to fix this so that it stops bothering us. It's bothering me. You have a couple of tabs up here that are all the features that you want to use the most. The ones you're going to use the most are Insert and Page. So you don't see it right away, but if you click more, there's this awesome deskew feature. And what it does is you tell the program essentially what's supposed to be straight that's not, and then it will fix it. Watch this. This is pretty awesome. I'm just going to click and drag. Oops. Once I select it, click and drag on this line, which should be actually horizontal. You guys, this is so exciting. Look at this. What? So now later, if we ever wanted to copy and paste anything, now it's straight and I can drag a box and I'm going to select what I actually want. This is a really awesome feature. Okay, so At the end of this, we want to put those other pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this song again, this same PDF again at the end, and that's with this feature, Append. Save this document and choose a file to append. So it looks like once I've made that edit, I need to save it. Okay, great, fine. Now I'm going to go back to my desktop and select I can't say no again. So at the end of this document, now we have the whole song all over again. Of course, I don't need the whole song. I don't need this page again. So let me get rid of that just by deleting that page. So this is the one feature that you can undo, deleting a page. And you do it with this button, Restore All. The tricky thing about it, though, is that it will restore all of the pages you may have deleted over your whole editing process. So like I said, that's why you might want to save partway through, download it and upload it and start that the work again if you're doing something that's really complicated. So we went from the end of the song back to the refrain, and then we have the whole rest of the song in here. And like I said before, you can see the pages take a second to load. This guy's crooked again, so let's fix him. Make this straight. Boom. I love this feature. It's very exciting because you get those PDFs where just one page is a little bit crooked, and then it makes it really hard to select things and copy and paste them onto other pages. Okay, when we jump back to this refrain, we want to make sure that we skip these two systems. So here's where the next handy feature comes in. We're going to go to Insert Whiteout, and just like in Preview where you did annotate and you put in a rectangle, we're going to do that here. I'm just going to go ahead and cover this up because when I go to print it eventually, it will save me some ink. So I'm going to block out, just clicking and dragging all of this stuff, and now it's gone. And you'll notice that you have handles that you can resize this square to, so you don't have to do it on the first try. If I clicked somewhere else on the page, which would be my natural instinct for, okay, now I'm going to do something else, it's going to make another box. So if I want to stop it from doing that, just click here, and now I'm out of that tool, so I can click somewhere else and do something else. What I kept doing by accident when I first started using this program was click somewhere else to deselect that box, and then I would end up just drawing more boxes all over the place. While I'm here, why don't I just get rid of this big black block there too. Okay, so for example, I want that deselected, and I want to click here. Oops, I didn't want that. You can delete a box once you've added it here. I'm just going to 2-finger click or right click it, delete object, or you see that there was also a trash symbol over here. Same thing. Once you do something else, I don't think you can go back and click on one of those boxes and delete it. It's a little bit tricky. Like I said, the whole undo process is not great in this program, but I mean, geez, that deskew button just makes up for anything wrong. All right, since we've been doing it, we might as well get rid of this as well. And since this would be the last time through, because we're after the pages that I added, we're going to block out these measures because we won't need them this time. And this is going to be the end of the song, so we won't need this time signature. And we actually won't need this whole page either. So let's delete that page. Again, page, delete. All right, so we've basically got our roadmap figured out now. Takes a second to load because all of this is online. This is our first time through, so maybe we want to make it a little bit easier, and because we can, let's take out that final ending. We're not going to use it the first time. This is the time that it's going right to the trio. So that's all good. And maybe we'll get rid of this guy too. The other thing we might want to get rid of, because the pianist does not need to turn back now where it says back to refrain. They're just going to keep paging forward. So when we get to that, I might get rid of all of this extra so that there's no confusion. We are not turning backwards. We are only moving forward. You saw right then that one of my boxes was in front of the other. Once you have multiple boxes here, I can right click them and, oh, I did it again. Delete, delete. There is a way to change the order of them. And let me just resize that so I can actually use it. I'm also going to hide this. And then just to be sure that the pianist turns the page and goes forward, we're going to add some text here. Next page. You are limited in this program in terms of, and I tried to highlight the text after I had already gotten out of that text box and I couldn't really go back to it. You are limited in terms of fonts. There's only like 5 fonts to choose from. You can do bold and italic and underline, but you don't have a lot of font options. If you are picky about your fonts and you're on a Mac, you could just edit this and do everything but the text and then go into preview where you have some more options. You also have arrows, lines, and rectangles. So if I want the accompanist to go to the next page, I'm just going to click and drag and add this arrow, which is a little neater than trying to draw it freehand. Okay, one last thing I want to show you, which was the thing that we used Formulate Pro for, which was moving things around. So we're still going to use a screenshot and then paste the screenshot in here, which is through this image function. So this is not necessary, but just for the purpose of showing you, I'm going to take these 2 systems and I'm going to move them up to this blank space on the page. It's just kind of nice when you turn a page in as an accompanist if the next music is right up at the top of the page, because that's where your eye goes anyway. The next best option is to have this empty space where it's really quick for your eye to jump down here, as opposed to more systems here crossed out and you have to find the place that you're looking at. The ideal is the music that you want to play next is right at the top of the page. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to move these systems up to the top of the page. In order to do that, I need a screenshot of these 2 systems. I'm not going to take that screenshot within the program here because I've found that it's a little blurrier on this screen than what the resulting PDF actually will be. So I'm actually going to go out of here for a second and go to my original PDF and take a picture from there. Do you see how it's just so much clearer to look at? This is what it's really going to look like when we eventually print it. So I just need a picture of these 2 systems. On a Mac, I'm doing Shift-Command-4. If I was on a Chromebook, it would be Shift-Control and then the button that sort of looks like a microwave. I think it's called a window select button, but a student recently called it the microwave button, and I really like that, so that's what I'm using from now on. If you just do Control Microwave, it takes a screenshot of your whole screen. Shift Control Microwave gives you the option of clicking and dragging and making a box. So on my Mac, Shift-Command-4, I'm going to select this, and that's my screenshot. It saves it on my desktop. If you're on a Chromebook, again, it'll save it in your Downloads folder. Okay, so that's going to be on my desktop for me when I need it. Let me go back to PDF Escape. And I'm going to say Insert, because I'm in the Insert menu, Insert Image. You can just drag the file in here, but you can also select it like I did. I'm going to click and drag where I want to put it. And there it is. You can see it's a little distorted, it's a little stretched out, but I can adjust it. That looks about right. So now I've moved that up, and let me just cover the old one so we don't play it twice. So those are pretty much all of the features that you might want to use. This online program is intended, they didn't design it for musicians editing sheet music, although it works really well for that. But you can see they have things like form, field, and link. So it would be like if you wanted to create a PDF form for other people to fill out. I think we've explored everything on the insert menu that is applicable The annotate menu, the only thing on here that's kind of cool is this highlight option, which highlights the white space, but doesn't cover up the text. So that's kind of nice, although I think I would probably just print it and do the highlighting myself. Once you've finished all your editing, or at least gotten to a point where you maybe want to save it and you can work with it, you do this save and download. So I've edited something, and now I just want to show you, hopefully if it worked, how clear it came out. Looks a little bit blurrier on the screen, but see, that's really high definition, nice and clean. And then if the accompanist is looking through here, they get to the trio, they just keep going forward. There's your trio, straighter. The page is not as crooked as it was before. Then they keep going. This used to say go back to the refrain, but we just keep paging through. We're here. We get to the end of the song. Those two measures are gone, so we don't have anything to ignore. It's nice if you can just block out all the things that the accompanist doesn't have to look at, so that they don't have to constantly be making a decision about what to ignore and what to pay attention to. And there's the end of the song. So now you can print that and you don't have to waste paper printing multiple copies. It's all done on your PDF. If you are interested in learning how to edit PDFs using Preview on a Mac, or even exploring what Formulate Pro can do, I will put a link to that old video in the description for this video, but I do think that PDF Escape is a easier and more effective program, especially that deskew function. I also can't end this video without saying that you really should pay for any sheet music that you're using in audition and performance. I know through this video I'm making it easier for you to use PDFs, and I know there's PDFs floating around the internet of pretty much any song that you would want. But please do support composers, compensate them for the work that they have done, and support their future work by paying for your sheet music. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.